If there's something wrong in your life and you have kids, it's because it's the kids.
Yeah, it is definitely because it's the kids.
Because it's the
Welcome to Try Again. This is a podcast that is also a movie club. That means each week we pick a movie and we review it jokingly and we try to be funny. There's a little bit of a disclaimer about the jokingly, which I will give in a minute after I introduce myself and my co-hosts / guest. I'm Todd Perkins, and I host this show, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Jessica.
Hi.
That's what she looks like. And then I'm also joined by my homie of 27 and something years, Stephen Comstock.
What's up? What's up?
All right. So yeah, the deal is each week we pick a movie to watch, we review it, we try to be funny, and in trying to be funny, we talk crap on each other, and we talk crap on the movie. And the reason I'm giving this disclaimer is because last week we watched The Greatest Showman, and this is the first time we actually got hate mail, and we got a surprising amount of it. We got a lot of letters and texts and telling us that we should like the movie more and we shouldn't be so critical of it. And it's insulting to people when we don't like things. Well, we're not changing anything. Jordan says flawless intro. Thanks, Jordan. This is the show. Okay. We disagree. Obviously my opinion's better than everybody else's opinion. And I am going to make fun of people who have a lesser opinion than me. And so that's kind of how the show is going to work.
That was a terrible way to...
Was it?
People feel better about it.
I'm not trying to make people feel better. I'm saying my job is to have opinions on things that I feel strongly about, whether or not you agree with them, and to back them up and to ridicule those who don't have the same opinion. Is that not my job? Is that not the show?
It's a job. It's a job.
Okay. Any clarification by anybody? Steven?
Nope. I wasn't listening to most of what you just said, but I'm sure I agree with you.
Okay, you probably do. Okay, that said, I guess I didn't introduce the movie that we're going to review tonight. We're reviewing the new Avengers movie, Avengers Infinity War. This is the latest with Thanos the villain trying to get things in the Infinity Gauntlet and everything. So we're going to start the review without spoilers. And so for the next about 5 minutes, you're not going to get any spoilers. But after that, we're going to spoil the crap out of the movie. So if you haven't seen it, then you are warned now. Who wants to go first? Steven?
So I really, really liked it.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it. I think I'll give it a 9.
Whoa.
Your eyes say way too much, Jess.
I'm curious to see what Jesse. I never explained in the show. We do not talk about our reviews before the show. So Jessica and I watched it together yesterday, and we decided not to discuss how we felt about it until the show aired. So we're finding out what everybody thinks right now. So anyway, continue.
Yeah, so I am a big fan of the Marvel movies. I know a lot of people kind of don't like them. So, well, that's not necessarily true, but a handful of people kind of don't like them. But I'm a fan. And so when there's a good one, to me, it's really, really good. And to me, this is a good one. Thanos, I thought, was one of the best villains I've seen in a movie in a long time. They did a really good job at sharing the screen time, despite the fact that there were so many popular people on screen. Everybody kind of got their shot, in. And there's not a whole lot. There's only one part that I didn't really like, and I guess we can get into that later. But the whole movie I thought was great. It was a really, really well done. The jokes were funny. The action was great. The CGI was great. The characters were awesome. Everything about it was good.
Awesome. You know what's really funny? I give it the same score for the exact same reasons. I literally have nothing to add to what you just said. That's exactly how I feel about the movie, like word for word. There was literally one part I didn't like, and it's a spoiler to bring it up now. But yeah, everything. Screen time between the heroes, Thanos, 9.0, everything. I actually feel exactly the same as you.
All
Jess,
right.
what do you got?
Sorry, I'm trying to get back to our page. Be right back. I think I'm gonna give it a 8. I liked it a lot. It was really funny. It was satisfying until like the last 10 minutes. And then I was like, I didn't know it was like a two-part thing. And now that I look it up online everywhere, it's like part 1 this year, part 2 next year, which is annoying.
I think it was a mistake to not put that in the title. You know, like I think as the movie starts, it would have been nice to just see part 1, you know, to know that going in. I actually forgot that it was in multiple parts. So it didn't bother me because after it was over, I was like, oh yeah, it's in multiple parts. So
yeah, I feel like my review would be higher if I knew that going in, because I was the whole time expecting this like happy conclusion to the movie, or like any kind of conclusion, I guess. And
oh, there was a conclusion.
Well, I'm trying not to spoil anything.
Right.
But anyways, I thought that there would be like an ending to a story. And I feel like there wasn't. And it was like unsatisfying. And if I would have known, I could have like prepared myself. Like I'm not going to see, So I don't know. But I liked it. I loved it. I loved like the joking between people. The interaction between superheroes was like super cool, because people that I thought kind of sucked within the like whole universe, like working together, their powers became cooler to me. So that's it.
All right. Yeah, so we're agreed. It's great. It is great. Shall we get into spoiler territory now? Wait. Okay, before we go on, we have a couple of comments from the triers. So I'm checking in on Facebook, live commenting right here. Jordan says, well, it is an infinity war, so it'll never end, right?
That's exactly what it means.
Yep. Andy says, it used to be called part 1 and 2, but they changed it for exactly the reason Jess is talking about. Wait, so to make you think it's ending?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what he's saying. They don't want people to think that, like, going into it that, oh, it's okay, everything's going to be okay kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know if it's a spoiler, but yeah, if it is part 1 and 2. There's part 1 and part 2 comes out 1 year from now. So the story does not end. Okay. So I want to get into the spoilers. I am very curious to hear the part that Steven did not like. So, okay, spoilers shall happen now. We're allowed to say whatever we want. So you've been warned. I warned in the text of the video on the podcast. I warned in the text that I posted on my personal page. So, and I'm warning right now.
This movie is extremely like prone to being spoiled. So even if you kind of want to see it, I suggest maybe not listening.
Yeah, there's lots of
tell
stuff.
Our listeners?
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff that can be spoiled. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, now we're ready to spoil it. Steven, I want to know what you didn't like. I wonder if it's the same thing that I didn't like.
The one part, my part's kind of lame, but for whatever reason, I just thought it was kind of dumb. And it was when they made the Stormbreaker,
Okay.
when Groot like used his arm.
Was it okay? Was it that he used his arm, or were you questioning whether that's a strong enough material for
Both,
this star
both,
created hammer or
both,
axe?
both of them is accurate. Like it was kind of dumb that was just for whatever reason necessary. Like why couldn't they just make it? Why did they have to make this dramatic scene for no? I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. And then what you said, like okay, like is it gonna be good enough? Like he had to make it. You know, the metal was made out of a pretty intense. Um, you know, it's like
Yeah, and it's like a twig. It's like the twig is the handle, but the metal is like a giant star shoots a beam and like almost kills Thor, and like it's
I don't know. And another thing, and this had to do with Thor's old hammer. It always looked too big for
oh,
Thor.
okay.
You know that that looked too big, and this one was even bigger, dude. It was like
It was
it was
huge.
huge.
I like that though. I really like that axe. It
I
was
thought it
getting
was
into
cool.
like Japanese territory with that thing. Okay, before we talk about anything else, Peter Dinklage as a giant. Anybody?
I liked it.
It was awesome.
It
I
was
thought
cool.
I thought it was a little cheesy when they did the close-up shots because it was obviously he was just standing there. He's a little person, but like the faraway shots and he's walking with everybody and he's like super huge, but he has like the
Frame.
little people frame. Yes, I thought that looked super cool. I really liked that. Okay, my part was different. I'm gonna go to mine and then Jess, you can diss it some more if you want. My part was this was pretty annoying to me just because I don't think this would have actually happened. If we're gonna like, if I was a writer, I think I would have taken issue with this scene. So there's a scene in the movie, like toward the end, when Thanos is the movie is him collecting these Infinity Stones so he can put them in this gauntlet and become all powerful.
Mhm.
Each one of these stones grants him a specific power, and they're like crazy things like being able to reverse time and change people's realities and all this cool stuff. But so there's a scene where all these superheroes are pulling off the gauntlet. They're 99% of the way pulling off the gauntlet. They're basically about to defeat Thanos. And then Star-Lord is like distracted by something and he punches him in the face. He's not listening when they're like, "Stop, don't get him out of this." And you know, we're almost got the gauntlet off, and he just like punches him in the face and ruins it. I don't think that was believable for me. It was like, dude, no way. No. Like you're about to kill this guy who's going to get godlike power, who already has godlike power.
Yeah.
You're just about to stop him. And he's like, "No, man, you killed somebody. I'm mad." Like, no, dude, half the universe is about to die, man. Just chill out for 30 seconds, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, none of that stuff is believable. Like when Scarlet Witch was like unwilling to sacrifice Vision to like basically destroy the stone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no offense, Todd, but if it was like all of not even just this Earth, but multiple other planets of people dying, and I had to like sacrifice you to save them, I mean, who's not going to do that, you know?
He wasn't even her husband. He was like her almost boyfriend. He was like in between friend zone and boyfriend. Like, really? You're not going to sacrifice that guy?
Also, his skin is like purple. Come on. You can find someone better. That's what I'm saying. Not
Hey, Thanos had purple skin,
being-
and look what he did. Okay. He was pretty great. Okay. Anything else you guys want to bring up? Anything else that you liked or disliked about the movie? Same with you, Trier. Same question to you.
Let's talk about Thanos for a minute.
Oh,
Do you
he
guys
was
agree?
fast. Yeah, okay. My intro to Thanos is actually from you, Steven, from you like in the late 90s. Everything I know about Thanos before this movie like came from you telling me stuff in the 90s. Like, he gets this Infinity Gauntlet and it's all his gems and his little power.
Dude, it was amazing. It was just as cool as it was when I was like 15.
It was. It was. We got to relive that. It was awesome. I love the different powers of the gems. and how he gets them all, and his little minions. His minions. Oh, I loved his minions.
Oh, yeah,
What?
dude, the weird guy that Tony
Squidward?
Stark called Squidward. That
Yeah,
was
I
hilarious.
love that guy. He was like, also, yeah, and on that note, man, I thought this movie, in my opinion, had like the best jokes. I was laughing so hard, so much. They were amazing jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
well, anyway,
Squidward guy, dude.
I wanted to
Hey,
go back to
hey.
Thanos.
Hey,
Sorry.
do I get to talk about Thanos?
Oh yeah, you're on
Oh,
the
yeah.
show.
Or am
too.
I just a girl?
Well, I thought you hated the movie because you only gave it an 8.
Oh my gosh.
That's the other thing. Going tangent. Going back to last week's show, The Greatest Showman, Jess and I gave it a 6, which does not mean we hated it. There are movies that I've given a 1, Titanic, a 2. I think I gave Mystery Men like a 1.5. Like these movies were Todd Cancer. Okay. So anyway, we didn't hate it that much. It was fine. Jess, Thanos.
So this like outs me as like not that much of a nerd, but for me, the villains that are like the most intriguing are ones that are just like really scary, evil humans, like the guy in Iron Man 1, even though it was Jeff Bridges who is the dude. And it's not super convincing, but like the fact that he was like selling weapons to people to like keep this like genocide going, like to me, that's like, oh, super scary. So Thanos, like the bigger and more like ridiculous the villains get, the more I'm like, nah, no. Which is, I know it's like, it's a comic book and it's not realistic, but anyways, that's how I feel about Thanos.
So he was big, made him
No,
less
just
awesome.
because he was unrealistic and he just wanted to rule the galaxy and like, I don't know.
I don't know. I thought his motivations were interesting. Like he wants to kill half of the people because there's not enough food. So to, get away from overpopulation, he's like, I want to be merciful to these people, not have them starve to death. I thought it was an interesting motive, personally.
I liked what I liked about Thanos was how what's the word? Just nonchalant he was about the whole thing. Like even when Thor like literally plunged an axe into his chest, he was just like, should have went for the head, bro. Sorry, you just
Yeah.
lost. And
That
then
was
like
awesome.
when he would get in like these huge fights with people, he just kind of treated them like they were just not that big of a deal.
Yeah, he really did.
Like one of my favorite lines was after he was fighting Iron Man, and Iron Man was like had all these cool things he was using to get a hit on him. And when the whole thing was over, he had that little scratch on his cheek, and he said all that for a drop of blood.
Yeah.
Meaning like, dude, you're all of your efforts that you guys are trying, it's just not gonna work. Like this is weak sauce, man. You
Yeah.
guys lost already, and you don't even know it. So
Thanos
That's
is
like
awesome.
that's like the opposite of what I want in like a superhero and a supervillain. Like I want them to have weaknesses because it makes them interesting to me.
Well, I think it just shows like you watching all these Marvel movies. There's been like 15 of them, and you just see how powerful all these beings are. And then when you see one that's so much more powerful, because that's been one of the critics' complaints about these Marvel movies for so long is like, dude,
They never lose.
they never lose. Like,
Yeah.
how can they lose? Everybody's too powerful, and then they finally come up against somebody that not only is as powerful.
Oh,
Oh no.
I lost Steven.
Steven turned into a robot.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, a little bit.
I missed a little bit of that. Not only as powerful, probably something about them being more powerful.
Well, no, I said Thanos not only or they are always fighting somebody that they seem to be able to overpower so easily.
Yeah.
And they finally come across somebody that's not only as powerful as they are, but he's more powerful than all of them combined.
Yeah.
And he just beats the
He
crap
has
out of
no
all.
trouble fighting all of the
I mean, think about like even the very beginning of the movie, I think he had one stone. And the Hulk, who is like the most powerful Avenger, out of all of them, and Hulk is like completely powerless. So much so that he refuses to come back and fight later in the movie. Like he's embarrassed because Thanos beat the crap out of him so bad.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, why does he keep having this I don't know, Hulk frustration or something, you know? But like, yeah, that's what I thought too. It's like he's scared of Thanos. That's how powerful Thanos is. Because I think too, like Thanos with no gems is like supposed to be as powerful as Hulk, right?
Oh, more so for sure. Yeah.
So he's tough. Let's check in with the triers real quick. Let's see.
Megan says she wasn't a huge fan. She'd give it a 6.5. And she says that she's wondering if the whole bit about Chris Pratt putting on weight, or about Star-Lord putting on weight, is because Chris Pratt actually put on weight. And they
for sure.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't notice.
I didn't notice. I thought he was fine. Fine.
But that's funny. That whole bit.
I think this might have been
funny.
This might have been the first Avengers movie. Well, actually, I guess Thor didn't. Thor takes off his shirt in every Thor movie, and Chris Pratt took off his shirt in both, what's it called movies? Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
And neither of them took off their shirts this time? Is that what?
Neither one of them, yeah.
Okay, we're just going to let ourselves go.
We're going to do this with our tops on this time, guys. That's pretty strong.
You know what? Our moves aren't going to scare him off. Rob says Hulktile dysfunction, referring to Hulk not coming out. Fantastic. Fantastic. And then he goes, why do his minions have powers? I don't know. I imagine they're just like superheroes, just like any other, or they're aliens. You know, I don't know. It worked in my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's just from, it's Marvel. Everybody has powers, right?
Yeah, dude, I love the Squidward guy though. His like, rejoice for your salvation has come. He has like this. I don't know. The way that he said stuff, it was like creepy and cool and funny at the same time.
Yeah. That was good, man.
I like that character, and the other like demon looking ones, like, oh my gosh. Just alien demon is like Todd crack, It's like it's automatic. Todd will like it if he looks like the Grim Reaper and he's also an alien. It's like
so Titanic romantic movies, Todd Cancer, alien demon, Todd crack.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the cancer to crack scale
of your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly. Any other parts you guys want to bring up before we go to random questions or things that you liked or didn't like? Jess, you haven't said anything for a while.
Thanks. I really liked Doctor Strange in this movie. We watched Doctor Strange, and I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't hate it, and I didn't even really dislike it, but I wasn't like, oh, Doctor Strange is super cool, But him in this movie combining his like abilities with other people's stuff was really cool. I thought it was cool how like when someone's about to be in trouble, he could like open up one of his little things and they can or like, how he trapped that monster guy on some snowy planet or something.
Also awesome. And he tried to come out, his arm got cut off when the portal closed.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man going through the portals.
Yes. Spider-Man going through
portal kick.
How could you not love that, man? The humor was so good. It was so satisfying. Oh my gosh.
Picking up funny parts. What was your favorite joke in the movie?
Oh, dude. The only one I remember was like scrotum chin Thanos, but I thought that was a bottom tier joke for this movie. I thought there were so many ones I liked better.
Said that joke is because a lot of like people that were kind of poking fun at the movie have been saying that about the stills of Thanos that they've been releasing. So it's kind of like the same vein as Chris Pratt being kind of overweight for the role. Like they recognized it and kind of poked fun at themselves.
Yeah. I'm going to read a comment from a trier. Megan says the pecs and abs will need to come out in order to win.
That's usually the case.
And Thor needs to grow his hair out. Maybe there's extra power there. Yeah, it's like that Bible guy, Sam.
Yeah,
Samson.
Bible guy.
His Bible, and then his axe gets bigger.
I don't think that happened.
What? Hey. Mm-mm.
Easy now.
I don't approve.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to think of the jokes. There were so many.
Squidward was great.
Yeah,
That one
Squidward
made
was
me laugh out
good.
loud.
The whole situation with Star-Lord and Thor, man. Oh, no. Drax eating the food. He was talking about how he can be all quiet.
I don't know. Yeah.
That was good.
It's like, I don't move at all. Oh my god, dude. I was dying.
That and then I really like the part where I think it was Star-Lord and some of the other Guardians of the Galaxy were like saying some stupid plan, and Tony Stark just like stared at him for a good like 15 seconds where he just didn't say anything. He just like had this blank stare, and he was just, you could just tell like he was just thinking, you guys are idiots. So good.
I liked the part where Rocket sees what's his name? Winter Soldier. He has a new name in the movie. I can't remember what they call him. Anyways, he sees his gun and he's like asking him about it, and he's like, it's not for sale, or it's mine, or whatever. And then he's like, what about the arm? And he just walks away. He's like, I'm gonna get that arm. It's just cool, like when characters come together and there's like these jokes that can happen because they've never interacted.
That was a really clever one too, because that's kind of his like Rocket thing. They were able to carry that, and bring it together. Like a guy that has a metal arm is totally something he would want.
Yeah. Yep. And also like that. They brought him with Thor and the eye, and
dude, Thor's eye. I think I was the only person that laughed out loud when he like looked at the camera and his eye was all wonky, like moving around. It was so good.
Oh my gosh, man. Okay, we got some comments here. Andy says Grimace. Who got called Grimace? He called was it Thanos? Got called Grimace. Rob says Thor commenting on Captain's beard. Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Let's see. Laura says I was a little disappointed when Doctor Strange and Tony Stark were arguing, and not one joke there about them basically having the same goatee. Oh yeah, that would have been good.
Lucy. Sorry, don't mind me. Shut the
door. We can't mind you if you keep talking.
Go.
You can mute your mic.
Every time you say go or say anything, it's always you on the camera.
Before the show started, we were talking on the stream about how if something is wrong, it's because you have kids, it's because your kids ruined it.
She walked in here in like only her undies and was like about to walk around the side. I was like, go!
What are you doing? No,
just live for 3 people to see.
I know. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have the CIA busted in our house for
CIA, CPS.
Yes, and the CIA. I meant CIA.
Why are the CIA coming over?
Brandon says, I'm going to raise my children that raccoons are actually called rabbits. Yes. Okay, let's should we go to random questions now? I mean, we could talk about this all day. There's so many funny parts. There's so much satisfying action.
One last thing. So Jess, you said you didn't like it because of the end. Was it just because everybody was dying?
It's just because there wasn't like closure. I expected there to be. Like I said, like everyone was dying and we don't know. I mean, we assume that, the part 2 is going to do stuff and, make that hopefully not happen. But
well, it's obviously not going to happen because Spider-Man 2 coming out.
Yeah.
And
but
people that died.
I didn't expect that. I was like severely disappointed.
Really?
Because I really thought it was going to be like, I don't know things about comics or any.
Let me let you in on a little secret when it comes to superhero and comic books. They
never
always
ends.
come back.
Yep, they always come back. The good guys win, if only because there's billions of dollars
Yes.
to be made off of
That's
these
right.
characters.
The only people that might really be dead are the only people that died before, the people that died before Thanos used the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right, like Loki and
Like Loki might really be dead.
Gamora.
And who else died?
Gamora.
Yeah, Gamora. Well, she might be trapped in the Soul Stone because Thanos used it to get the Soul Stone, and like the Soul Stone has its own little world.
Oh my gosh.
People can live within it.
Huh.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
All right, let's go to random questions. Okay, one thing first. Surprise. Did you see in the credits that they thanked they mentioned character from Arrested Development?
Oh, no way. That was a real
Fox.
thing?
Yeah. Tobias Funke was in it as
That's right.
his blue self was in there with the collector's lair. I actually didn't see him in the movie. I looked it up after because I saw it in the credits. But that was indeed in the movie. Okay, last thing.
I'm afraid I just blew myself.
Andy says James Gunn has even said Guardians 3 will focus more on Gamora rather than Star-Lord. Okay, well, we have that answer right there.
There we go.
Uncle Ben is the only permanent death. All right.
Aww.
But we'll always remember him when we eat his delicious cooking sauce.
I thought it was rice.
Yeah, and cooking sauce. Rice. And Uncle Ben's cooking sauce.
I think he's more famous for his rice.
The cooking sauce is better. It's a funnier thing to say. Fight me. Okay, so let's go to our random questions. In the live stream, I don't know how to do a cool song. I wish I could. There we go.
Cool song.
Well, I didn't.
Just. Okay, so I'll start with mine. Okay, random question. I read one review and I didn't read a lot of reviews of this, but one of the reviews I read said they didn't like the political message in there. They're thinking that Thanos was made out to look like he had righteous motives, which I think was totally wrong.
No.
Like he had a righteous motive in his mind. And I think we are led to believe that's evil.
Motives. Every single person that has an evil motive, it's a righteous motive.
Right.
Yeah. So he was interpreting it as some kind of political crap. And I say, no, I didn't see any political stuff in this movie at all. So since there wasn't a political message, let's insert one in. So my question is, how would you make a secret political message in this movie? Jess.
So Thanos already has like kind of orangey skin. So
orangey, purple. He is purple.
Just go with it.
Do you even color, bro?
He started out dark purple and now he's like pink. Anyways,
he never changed color.
Have you looked up pictures of Thanos? Oh, my phone's dead. Dang it.
I watched the movie.
No, in the beginning when he was in like Thor, he started out dark. We're not arguing about this.
Right.
Okay.
Anyways.
Grimace is orange.
I'd give him a blonde wig and a Make America Great Again hat. And then
Make the universe great again?
Make the universe great again. And then it's just all about, how a certain person is trying to destroy lives and stuff.
That was exactly mine. It was exactly mine.
That was mine too. Give me a break. I came up with
Oh, that's great. Do you have any more, Jess?
No.
That was good, and it was funny. Steven.
All right, I'm gonna go the opposite end of the political spectrum here.
Okay.
And say that Thanos. What?
You just had a Utah accent a little bit. It's okay.
I'm going to say that Thanos is going to tell everybody that he's only going to kill off the 1%, and everybody will get their inheritance from those people that died and make everybody else richer.
That's a good one.
It's getting spicy.
That is a
Getting
good one. That was
spicy
pretty
up in
spicy. All right, so mine, yeah, the Trump wig, but I did make some modifications to that. So he's got the Trump hair, and then instead of finding like the standard Infinity Gauntlet stones, he finds the collusion gem, the fat shaming gem, the gem of the patriarchy, the gem of separate bathrooms, and finally the literally Hitler gem. That's like the crowning gem.
That is what completes.
Yeah,
the
the literally Hitler gem is my favorite one.
All right, Steven, your question.
Oh yeah, what was my question? I don't even remember.
Your question is, what would you turn your enemies into?
Oh yeah. So in the movie,
this is totally spontaneous. Woo!
We just come up with awesome answers. Also,
So
our answers are awesome.
in the movie, Thanos turns who does he turn into? He turns what's his name, Drax, into like blocks. Remember that part? And then he turns the girl with the things on her head. I forget her name.
Mantis? Is that her name?
Mantis. Yeah, that's right. He turns her into like a springy looking thing, like ribbons, I guess. So my question is, if you had the Infinity Gauntlet, what would you turn your enemies into if they were trying to attack you? Jess.
I would turn them into puppies, and then they would like jump on me and lick my face, and then it would just be awesome.
Well, what if they still hated you and they like peed all over you?
It's worth it. I considered that, I considered that possibility, but
all right.
I mean, I have puppies attacking me, and to me, it just feels like love. So that's what I want.
That's good. I'm gonna go with chicken wings, and I will eat them sexily.
Oh man,
Ew.
I got dark.
Eat my enemies, yeah, sexily too. Be very arousing.
Ew.
Cannibalism always is.
It's one of the top 10 most arousing things, according to Huffington Post. Stupid. Oh man.
Agreed.
Save it, Steven. Save it.
I went with toys. I turned them into like classic toys, like kind of like on the Twilight Zone when that have you guys seen the episode where the kid turns his dad into like a Jack in the Box?
Oh yeah,
something like that. Turn them into toys.
All right, checking in with the triers. Megan comments on the gems. On my gems, I was talking about a gem called. Megan's talking about my gems. I told you it'd be arousing. Okay. Anyway, a gem called. Sorry, Megan. Sorry, Rob. A gem called Gina, says Megan. Rob says he finds gems by grabbing people by the.
Classic.
And Megan says, in reference to China, you never know with his past comments, but I'm referring to China. Wink, wink. Okay. Jess, your question.
So there's all these infinity stones, and they do things. I know what they all do because I know things. So if you had to choose one infinity stone to wield, what would you choose and why? Which one? Todd.
For me, it was kind of easy because I always want to say things like really funny things that I can't say. And so it's going to be the time gem. So the time stone. So I would say things like really funny things. I'd get all that satisfaction of saying the perfect diss and then rewind time. Oh, and I could see the reaction. I could see reactions.
You go back and try again.
Yeah, exactly.
You could perfect your stupid jokes.
The jerk. Yeah, exactly. I do that. I go over them in my head. I'm like, I should have said this. It would have been such a good joke.
You're going to spend a lot of time going back in time, my friend.
Like today.
It doesn't matter because you could just go back in time.
Today I was at a really weird place, which maybe I'll talk about, maybe I won't later on. And I saw this lady with an eye patch screaming at a cop. And I really wanted to say something. I didn't have the perfect thing to say, but I wanted to say something. And I know if I had that time gem, I would have said something amazing, put on some sunglasses, and walked away. It would have been awesome. So anyway, Popcorn Steven.
Cool.
Okay, mine was a toss-up between the space gem, which grants you the ability to teleport.
Oh, that's what he was doing. He was like opening up those portals or whatever and just disappearing. Or
Right, you can
Okay.
teleport, and you can teleport objects to where, and it's you can teleport it to wherever you can think of. Like, you just think of where you want something to go, and it goes there.
Oh my gosh, the Infinity Gauntlet is so cool.
And then the other one was the reality gem, which basically lets you get granted wishes. That's what it does.
So, okay, does it like actually change reality, or does it change people's perception of reality?
I don't know. I think it can actually. You can do both.
Well, because when Star-Lord went to shoot Gamora, he was actually holding his gun, right? But what came out was bubbles.
Right.
So it seems like it could go either way. But then, like, when what's their faces were all like dissected, was that from the Reality Stone, I assume?
I think so.
They weren't really like dead. You know?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. That's what I assume it was from.
Same thing when he was on the planet Titan. He showed him it like.
Oh yeah.
Was that then?
Mhm.
When it like kind of looked like a paradise, and then it like went to crap. So I think he can do both. Like, he can actually alter reality into whatever he wants it to be, or he can use it to trick people into thinking it's something and it's not.
Man,
Cool.
so cool. So many dope gems. Just gems.
Dope gems. So I would also go with the reality gem. I would like eat a cucumber and make myself think I was eating like a stick of chocolate or something.
That's a good use of ultimate power.
Stick of chocolate.
I would do that, dude. That'd be awesome.
Dude, I would do that with every
all
food.
these chicken wings, and it's like I'm really eating something.
People.
People are delicious. I don't know why nobody's doing it.
Or I would stay in my pajamas all day and make people think that I was wearing really classy, normal people clothes.
I'm glad that both of your things have to do with being lazy. I could eat healthy, but instead I'll just make it seem like I'm eating healthy.
No, I'm actually eating healthy. I'm actually eating healthy, but I'm convincing myself that I'm eating delicious.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because I do want to be healthy. I don't want to actually wear real clothes, though. So that one is
just fake clothes.
That's me wearing pajamas. Yeah.
All right. Well, is that all the questions of the random? Is that everything? Yep. Okay.
Of the random.
Yes. All right. Trying stuff. Let's talk about trying. Do you guys want to talk about trying stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I tried something.
Jess, did you have something that you tried?
TMI. Well, yeah. So Todd and I always follow these like deal sites because we're nerds, and that's like how I don't know, it's fun for us to get good deals. And we always see these like things where like if you test drive a car, you get a gift card. And we're always like, we should do that sometime, like on a date, like test drive a car, get a gift card, and then go on an awesome date because we have the gift card. And we actually did that this week. Well, last week, but yeah. And it was crazy easy. We like printed out a coupon. We went to the dealership, which we were already nearby running some errands. And they asked us if we actually wanted to test drive the car or if we were actually interested in buying a car. We said no. And so they just gave us a gift card and we left.
Nice.
$40.
Yes, we walked into a building, we got $40 and we walked out. That was pretty cool. That's pretty much what I did today, except for I had to be better than a bunch of scary people. All right, Steven. I'm going to hell. Steven, go.
The thing I tried was a new show, which was Lost in Space.
Oh,
Oh.
Pretty good. Me and Candace we both watched it, and we watched the whole series because that's how you do things nowadays. And we liked it. We liked it a lot. It was really good. I'd give it maybe a 7.5.
Oh, that's really good for you?
Well, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of good. Yeah.
it's fine. It's a fine review score. Stop sending them hate mail, everybody. That sounds cool. My dad was talking about. I guess it's based on a show from like a bunch of decades ago. About the same name. I didn't know that.
Classic.
Yeah,
It's an
I
old-
never even
an old
heard of it.
show.
Never.
Oh,
never-
never even heard of it. I kind of wanted to see how long we could do that. Okay.
That's about as long as I could handle it.
Yeah, it's about as long as anybody. 10 minutes longer than anybody can handle. Okay. So we talked about crap we tried. Let's wrap up now. Okay, that's all we're going to talk about. The Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Infinity War. We all liked it. I recommend seeing it. I'm actually going to go see it again. Really excited about it. Okay, so let's talk about next week. Next week we're going to see the movie Coco, the one that came out last year. Coco. We shall see that. We are going to have a guest, Paul, our friend Paul. He's going to join us next week and review Coco. So that's what's going on next week. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe on YouTube, all that crap. If you don't know where our channel is, I'll ask me, I guess. I guess I could advertise it more, but just search for Try Again Podcast on YouTube. Search for the channel. It should be very easy to find. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for tuning in this week, Triers, and we will see you next week.